Drummers studied them for hours. Radio DJs talked about them, then they vanished. These legendary drum intros open songs you know by heart, but you can't remember they start with drums. Here are 10 legendary drum intros you completely forgot existed. Number 10, Joey Kramer, Aerosmith. Before 1986, Walk This Way started with drums. The 1975 original opened with a funky, syncopated groove that combined rock swagger with R&B pocket. That tight, bluesy intro set up everything on Toys in the Attic, showcasing the kind of locked-in rhythm that made you move without thinking. The song went top 10 in 1977, and for over a decade, rock radio meant that drum intro was everywhere. Then Run DMC happened. Their rap rock version completely erased the original opening from cultural memory. The hip-hop legends chopped up the arrangement, opening with Steven Tyler's vocals and that iconic guitar riff. The remix became bigger than the source material, hitting number 4 on the Billboard charts and introducing Aerosmith to a new generation. MTV played it constantly, and it became the definitive version for millions. An entire generation grew up never hearing the drum intro. If you came of age in the late 80s or 90s, Walk This Way meant the Run DMC version. The original drum opening was buried under rap history. Remix culture erased it before anyone even called it remix culture. Number 9, Mick Tucker, Sweet. Are you ready, Steve? Uh-huh. Andy? Yeah, Mick. Okay. All right, fellas, let's go. That's what everyone remembers from the Ballroom Blitz. That spoken countdown became the song's defining moment, the part everyone imitates at parties and weddings. But before those words, there's a rapid-fire 16th note snare barrage played with a slight swing feel that gives the track irresistible energy. Nobody remembers that part. Sweet's 1974 glam rock anthem showcased one of the genre's most technically proficient drummers. The snare intro set up one of the decade's most explosive songs, demonstrating precision and power that few could match. But the theatrical call and response buried the drumming completely. Sweet suffered from image problems throughout their career. Critics dismissed them as bubblegum glam, ignoring the fact they were killer musicians. Matching outfits and teen idol status buried the talent. The Ballroom Blitz went top 5 in America and sold over 1 million copies. But the drum intro remained forgotten behind that spoken intro. Glam rock's theatricality won, and technical brilliance lost. Number 8, Aaron Commas, Spin Doctors. Listen to the first 3 seconds of Two Princes. That's a Gadd-esque precision snare drum intro, complete with subtle ghost notes and a thumping kick drum pattern. Released in 1991, it showcased a level of technical finesse that most pop rock acts couldn't touch. The intro is pure percussive craftsmanship, the kind drummers recognize immediately as something special. Jazz training made that happen. The problem was timing. MTV overplayed Two Princes into oblivion. The band's second album bombed, and they vanished from mainstream consciousness by 1994. One-hit wonder status changed everything. When people think of the song now, they think of 90s nostalgia, not drum mastery. The song peaked at number 7 on the Billboard charts, spent 42 weeks on the Hot 100, and Pocket Full of Kryptonite sold over 5 million copies. But I said now, British who adore you, just go ahead. But the Spin Doctors faded, taking the drumming with them. Drummers still study that intro, but casual fans have zero memory that the song opens with a drum showcase. Being disposable buried the genius. Number 7, John Bonham, Led Zeppelin. Most people think Black Dog starts with guitar. They're wrong. The song opens with a technically brilliant drum pattern in 5/4 time that most drummers struggle to master. Released in 1971 on Led Zeppelin 4, those opening seconds showcase everything that made one of rock's greatest revolutionary. The tone, the attack, the groove that defied conventional time signatures. Then Jimmy Page's riff comes in. That legendary guitar line is so massive, so instantly recognizable, that it obliterated the drum intro from public memory. Page's riff is one of rock's most famous, and it appears 6 seconds after the song actually starts. Black Dog went to number 15 in the US, and Led Zeppelin 4 sold over 37 million copies worldwide. It's one of the most played songs in rock history. Yet the intro exists in the shadow of Page's guitar work. Drummers know it. They study the odd time signature and the way 5/4 sounds natural in those hands. But mainstream rock fans, they remember the riff. The intro got buried by the very band that made it famous. Number 6, Doug Clifford, Creedence Clearwater Revival. That military-style snare pattern that opens "Fortunate Son" sounds like marching to battle. Released in 1969, the driving rhythm sets up the entire Vietnam War protest before a single word is sung. The snare work gave the song its confrontational edge, the anger that made it an anthem. Then John Fogerty started singing, and everyone forgot about the drums. The song became so much bigger than the music. "Fortunate Son" turned into a cultural touchstone for the anti-war movement, the working-class anthem against privilege and political corruption. It appeared in every Vietnam War movie from Forrest Gump to countless documentaries. The lyrics overshadowed everything else. Fogerty's voice and message consumed the conversation. The song peaked at number 14, but its cultural impact far exceeded chart success. Everyone knows the lyrics. Everyone knows what it represents. Nobody remembers the snare intro that starts the whole thing. The drumming became invisible under the weight of political significance. An entire CCR career spent in Fogerty's shadow, and "Fortunate Son" perfectly encapsulates that dynamic. The drums set up the protest, then disappeared into history. Before we continue with number 5, I want to hear from you. How many of these intros did you actually remember started with drums? And which one surprised you the most? Drop a comment below. And tell me where you're watching from. We have people tuning in from Texas to London. Number 5, Jeff Porcaro, Boz Scaggs. Producer Joe Wysert crafted a revolutionary drum technique for Lowdown in 1976. He had the drummer play 8th notes on the hi-hat panned hard to the right channel, then overdub 16th notes panned hard left. The double-tracked hi-hat created a hypnotic groove that made the song irresistible. The fiery intro, as keyboardist David Paice called it, laid down the foundation for everything that followed on Silk Degrees. But Lowdown became known as a smooth vocal track, not a drum showcase. The song hit number 3 on the Billboard charts and won the Grammy for Best R&B Song, but silky vocals and the disco soul arrangement took all the attention. Saturday Night Fever's producers tried to license it for the movie, which would have made the intro legendary. The manager turned them down. The song became a yacht rock staple, background music for adults who wanted sophistication without edge. Technical drumming got buried under smooth and mellow. Drummers studied that double-tracked hi-hat work for decades, but mainstream listeners never noticed the intro. The groove that made the song work disappeared into the background. Number 4, Scott Travis, Judas Priest. Judas Priest needed redemption after their ill-advised turbo experiment. Painkiller delivered, opening with a double bass assault that redefined metal drumming. The intro is pure speed and aggression, a relentless barrage of kick drums at breakneck tempo that announced the return to heavy metal. Modern thrash techniques met classic metal, and the first second showcased technical ability that changed the game. Rob Halford's piercing scream immediately after the intro obliterated the drum work from memory. That scream became the song's defining moment, the part everyone talks about when discussing Painkiller. Halford's vocals are superhuman on the track, hitting notes that shouldn't be possible. The feet were doing something equally impossible, but the voice stole every bit of attention. Painkiller revitalized Judas Priest's career and influenced an entire generation of metal drummers. The double bass work set the template for extreme metal, but outside drummer circles, nobody remembers the intro. They remember Halford screaming. They remember the guitar riffs. The intro brought Priest into the 90s, then watched Halford's vocals take all the credit. Metal's obsession with vocalists and guitarists left the drummer forgotten. Number 3. Neal Smith, Alice Cooper. Inspired by Charlie Watts' Flam intro on the Rolling Stones' Get Off of My Cloud, a signature moment was needed. The solution was a massive Flam-driven intro for Billion Dollar Babies in 1973. Producer Bob Ezrin made the deal clear. Use the intro only if played perfectly all the way through the song. Mission accomplished, creating what should have been one of rock's most memorable drum openings. Alice Cooper's theatrical shock rock completely buried the drumming. Stage shows featured guillotines, fake blood, live snakes, and simulated executions. The band became known for spectacle, not musicianship. Critics dismissed them as a gimmick act, ignoring the fact the drummer was highly skilled. The Billion Dollar Babies album sold over 1 million copies and went #1, but nobody talked about the drumming. A 2016 interview revealed the Flam intro was an attempt to create something distinctly personal, an addition to rock's drum vocabulary. It worked musically, but failed culturally. Alice Cooper's persona consumed everything else. The makeup, the horror theatrics, the controversy over lyrics made the actual musicians invisible. The intro got buried under Cooper's guillotine. Number 2. Andy Newmark, David Bowie. Sigma Sound in Philadelphia, 1974. A stripped-down kit with a tightened snare head, constant rim shots for a sharp, cracking sound. That tympanum-like drum intro on Young Americans was a masterclass in restraint and power. The intro announced Bowie's plastic soul transformation, setting up one of his most ambitious albums. The drumming gave Bowie's soul experiment authenticity. Bowie's persona completely overshadowed the musicians who made it work. Young Americans became about Bowie discovering Philly soul, Bowie's blue-eyed soul experiment, Bowie's American breakthrough. The album hit the top 10, and Fame went to #1, making Bowie a genuine US star. But nobody talked about the drummers behind it. The stripped-down drum sound influenced countless recordings throughout the late 70s. The technique was studied by session drummers worldwide, but casual fans? They remember Bowie's transformation, Luther Vandross on backing vocals, and David Bowie becoming a crossover star. The drummers who created the groove vanished into Bowie's legend. The intro became another forgotten element of Bowie's genius, credited to the man in front of the microphone. Number 1. Ian Paice, Deep Purple. For a brief moment in 1970 and 1971, drummers everywhere discussed the opening to Fire. Released on Deep Purple's In Rock, those explosive drum rolls announced one of hard rock's most important albums. The intro showcased speed, precision, and power that few drummers could match. It was once as famous as the song itself. Then Ritchie Blackmore's guitar riff comes in, and the drum intro ceased to exist in public memory. Blackmore's riff is legendary, one of hard rock's defining moments. It's so massive that it erased everything before it. Most people don't even realize Fire starts with drums. They think it opens with Blackmore's guitar. Deep Purple sold millions of albums, and Fire became a classic rock staple. Recognition came as one of rock's greatest, but the intro to Fire disappeared from mainstream rock history. It's as if those opening seconds never happened. Blackmore's riff rewrote the song's beginning in cultural memory, and the work vanished. The intro that launched countless air drummer performances in 1970 doesn't exist anymore. Blackmore's guitar killed it.